The woman started taking off her clothes to go to bed, but before she finished, she suddenly froze rigid. Her husband next to her was already used to it. He silently covered his wife with a blanket, sighed, then turned off the light and lay down. It turned out that everyone in this town was controlled by the windmill on the mountain. When it spun, people lived their normal lives as usual, but once it stopped, the entire town fell into this eerie silence. What was even stranger was that whenever the windmill accelerated, the villagers would enter this almost frantic work mode under such circumstances. A house that should have taken months to build was completed overnight. Just then, fate seemed to take a turn. A blinding bolt of lightning struck the windmill, knocking off a part. Suddenly, the fog in the man's eyes lifted, and he regained his sanity. A few days later, the wind and rain subsided, and the entire town looked like a huge landscape painting, but the man was the only living creature who could move in it. Soon, he was drawn to a girl frozen by the roadside. He picked her up without hesitation. When the windmill started spinning again, the girl woke up and fell in love with the man, and they naturally became husband and wife. But the shadow of the windmill loomed over their happiness. The woman often suddenly entered work mode, even snatching his bowl before he finished eating. What drove the man craziest was at night just as they were about to go to bed. The windmill stopped at the worst possible moment, and the woman froze beside the bed, leaving the man alone with the cold, empty sheets. Finally, one morning, when the windmill froze everything, the man's anger reached its peak. He grabbed an axe, rushed out the door, and headed straight for the windmill on the mountain. He was going to put an end to this absurd control once and for all. The man charged at the windmill, driven by anger, swinging his axe fiercely at the wooden stakes. Each chop vented the pain of having his normal life taken away. Just as he was about to succeed, the windmill strangely accelerated. The villagers from the mountain poured down like a tide, overpowered him together, dragged him to the cliff edge, and prepared to push this troublemaker into the abyss. In the last second, the dilapidated windmill collapsed with a crash, its huge frame rolling down the cliff and landing right beside the turbulent stream. The current made the blades spin again. At the same time, the villagers' eyes cleared, and the invisible chains that had controlled them for years finally broke. The man became a hero in the town. His beloved girl was no longer controlled by the windmill, and he could finally enjoy that long overdue tenderness.